Hi, hello friends, and welcome to week 4 of Exploring the Bible together. It's amazing that you have been in this journey, and we are getting almost to the end of the first month. And so, well done, and let's go and keep learning and exploring the Bible. And this week is our first time that we are going to be seeing one of the characters of the Bible between two sections. So in this first one, we are going to be learning about the promise that God made Abraham. So, as we get ready for this week, we are going to realize that again, the world have gone completely bad. And that is a pattern that we are going to be seeing repeated during the course of the Bible. So it's good when we are seeing this pattern being repeated to point our families to Jesus, because he is the one that is going to finally break this pattern and this cycle of people being bad and people moving away. And as we saw on the story of Noah, that Noah was kind of Jesus but smaller than Jesus, we are going to see a number of characters that look like Jesus but they are not Jesus. And one of the first characters that we see in that is a man called Abraham. What Abraham is so important? Because from Abraham we see the starting of the people of God. We see the starting of those that are going to form part of the team. So, do you remember the big word of last week? The big word of last week was covenant. So if you haven't done it, just click the pause button, go back and watch it, and I am waiting for you. So, if you have watched it and you remember the word covenant, how other way we can explain the word covenant to our kids? If you have one of those, it's because you are married and you are using your ring. So, how about you find that album with all the pictures of the wedding day, and then you explain to your kids what was that day, what promise you made, and show the symbol of the promise. There is going to be a promise that God made to Abraham, that he's going to create a family that nobody was going to be able to count. A family that was going to be huge, bigger than the stars in the sky, bigger than the sand in the beach. And the mark was a big word. It's a big word called circumcision. And that is the big word of the week. Gosh, the big word this week is quite complicated. And don't be afraid. As for example, I freaked out my dad when I was a kid. And I was reading and I couldn't even pronounce the word. But I asked my dad, what is circumcision? I don't remember. But the story that my dad told me is like his face went completely white. He couldn't know how to explain to a kid about circumcision. So we don't want to get into the biology on circumcisions and the complicated aspect. So one way in which you can explain about the big word of the week is circumcision was the mark that the Israelites carry in their bodies to show that they were part of the people of God. And I have two ideas to explain that. First one, and even though they are not winning at the moment, I have this. And this is my Liverpool teacher. So, as a supporter of Liverpool, even though Liverpool have been losing all the games, I love the thing. So I use the teacher and I go out and I show that I am part of Liverpool. So if you see me with this teacher on, you are going to realize that I do not support Man United. I support Liverpool because I am carrying the mark of my team. If you saw my hand, I'm married to a beautiful girl called Holly. So I use the ring. So I show everybody that I am part of a marriage and that Holly is my wife. In the New Testament, we see the mark of the Christian when we are part of the family of God. As Christian, got baptized. And that is a good way to explain how circumcision meant. Circumcision was the mark of the old covenant, the mark that all of those that were going to be part of the family of Abraham were going to carry. And as use my Liverpool t-shirt to mark the support of my team, as I use the ring to show that I belong to Holly and Holly belongs to me, we, as people of God, we get baptized. And that is the mark of the new covenant. That is the mark of all that belong to God's family. Take. So, what thing do you support? What teacher do you have on? And ask your mom and dad, or tell your kids about the day that they were baptized, about the day that we made that promise to God, that they were going to be part of God's family, so they have the mark of the promise.